Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Sonic, WWE 318, back again for another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your WWE Money in the Bank 2023 review. Yep, I have once again just relatively recently just got done watching it and kind of collectively overall got my collective overall thoughts noted down and written down for me to talk to you guys. Actually, go over, just overall go over the show for you guys. Obviously enough, like I always do, well enough within these last couple of videos on this supposed world tour. We might that I think I might have jokingly called it in the past, since recently these past few pay-per-view events have been kind of going, overseas and kind of been recently, international. You might as well say it. So obviously enough, we are finally going to be here to actually touch upon this event well enough, obviously enough, before we actually call this supposed Intercontinental World Tour, event sort of tour a close with this very pay-per-view event here from Money in the Bank 2023, as we are looking to kick off the biggest party event of the summer with SummerSlam 2023 coming back here to the States in freaking Detroit, Michigan. Well enough, coming up next to the channel, obviously enough. But obviously enough, that is up next. This is now. We're talking about Money in the Bank. So we will talk about SummerSlam up next when we get to it. But for now, we're gonna touch upon this show because spoiler alert. Wow, was it a good show? Spoiler alert, just right out of the gate, guys. Before I even touch upon a single goddamn match on this card, what a good show this was. I'm gonna say it right out of the gate right now. What a good show, guys. What a good show. So, with this said, let's get started. Obviously enough with more kind of, instead of, delaying the inevitable, let's get started with this, great show. Obviously enough with none other. We started off with none other than the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. My predictions for this match were for none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah! Priest and Logan Paul for my predictions. My predictions were those, once again, as I said before, and my predictions ended up becoming true as Damian Priest himself won the match for, himself, obviously enough. So, as I said, this makes my prediction score to kick off the show with none other than a score of 1-0. And my thoughts on this match was, despite the tug-of-war type of controversy that came with the creative heading into this match between both Vince and Papa H, we truly ended up getting a match that defines what it means to be a wrestling fan, as this surely was possibly one of the best Money in the Bank matches I have ever seen. Everyone had their moment to shine and truly had their chances of actually wanting us to maybe see them win it all, despite many not creatively or logically making any sense, but still pointing out all the stops nonetheless within this match to do so, obviously enough. Sucks that Knight had to be the one to take the ultimate final fall for Priest to gain the win here, but more or less proves the ideal way of getting over the earlier mentioned creative hump for both sides to find a common ground between the two result, while none of their true ideal winners getting the win of Raw, if I didn't say it before, which I'm pretty sure I did not, it has been pretty much highly speculated that Triple H was pushing for LA Knight to win. So he wanted LA Knight to win, and he didn't want Logan Paul to win, while Vince obviously was on the other side of the fence saying, I want Logan Paul to win. For obvious reasons, I actually did say in my prediction video, saying pretty much, oh, he's a popular guy. He brings in the big bucks, the big viral views, and blah, 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 blah. I want Logan Paul to win. So it's kind of, once again, a tug of war between both Triple H's views and Vince's views, creatively to see who, in fact, will be the main number one winner to get out of this match. And obviously enough, they had to find a compromise, and that was none other than making Damian Priest win this match overall. Once again, guys, to jump back onto my thoughts over that little hurdle of my kind of looping my overall kind of my own mental thoughts I come straight out of my head versus my stuff I had written down. So let's come back to my notes, shall we? Okay, but obviously, here we go. Definitely can see a few, speaking of the devil, definitely can see a few ideal matches heading towards SummerSlam in regards of either Knight v. Paul or Ricochet versus Paul, from how things have been built both prior to this match and with what we've seen in this match. But we'll just have to see where things take us from here. Overall, though, truly an outstanding way to open the show off on, and hope the high momentum keeps up with the show overall as it continues. Obviously enough, as we continue well enough the show, up next, we had Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on the likes of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Team Championship. My prediction for this match was for Liv and Raquel to win this match, but wouldn't have been too surprised if Ronda and Shayna retained their titles, which in fact they did not, as Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez did in fact won the match and became new champs, as this makes my prediction score a 2-0 so far. And my thoughts on this match was, while the initial thought was to see the London faithful be on their hands and knees for this match after what we got out of the opening ladder match, that thought of mine was surprisingly and pleasantly proven wrong, as they were very much alive and into this match, as they helped make it quite an entertaining one to see. Not to say it was anything too groundbreaking, obviously enough, but still a decent tag team match for sure. But the ultimate takeaway from this match was the swerve by Baszler on Ronda mid-match to ultimately lead to Liv and Raquel to get the upper end of this matchup. Like, wouldn't it make it logically make sense to let it just let the moment happen after the fact of them losing the titles and causing the turn to happen naturally from there, with obviously Ronda and Shayna losing the match to Liv and Raquel, logically, and just having Shayna turn on Ronda then, instead of actually just randomly have freaking Shayna be tagged in and just randomly attacking Ronda from behind like we saw in the match. I don't know. But anywho's, in either case though, looks like we've got a Ronda face turn on the horizon as she's looking to not only build to SummerSlam, pretty much have a built to a SummerSlam feud off against her and Baszler heading out of this match, though well enough. But okay, but obviously no. Back to what I was saying about this match though, to close it off though. Match wasn't anything too crazy, but still an entertaining one with these fans well enough, obviously with the London faithful. Huzzah. Kind of tripping over my words there to close out that freaking my thought process of that match. Anywho's, moving on from that stumbliness of rambles, we have Matt Riddle taking on Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. My predictions for his match was for Gunther to win this match, as he did in fact do so. So that makes my prediction score a 3-0. And my thoughts on this match was, while not the strongest performance neither man has given us as of late in my opinion, this match still was able to pull some of the stops in regard to giving us a decent match to say the least. Had a close call for me, not gonna lie, after Riddle landed on the injured ankle of his and that Gunther clothesline he delivered right afterwards. And that truly could have been the match then and there, to be honest, but the match still had a bit of gas in its tank to give before it came to its eventual end, with the result we all seen coming. I, of course, would have been remiss in not mentioning the return of McIntyre, obviously enough, as it was a given that Orton was in the talks to be in this spot to possibly screw over or take out Riddle in a post-match beatdown of sorts. But the surprise we've been wanting and waiting on for some time came to the light as the rumors of Drew McIntyre walking off into the sunset in regards to his WWE run can now officially be put to rest and be obsolete, as we look forward to the upcoming feud with him and Gunther. If the cards are to be dealt in that direction here, obviously not. I think this match is result. Obviously not. As you clearly see the picture being shown clearly having Drew over freaking Gunther's body and him holding the title. Obviously enough. If that isn't the freaking SummerSlam match coming up next, I don't know what is. So, moving on from that, though, we have Cody Rhodes taking on Damon. What the frick was I? I don't know what I was about to say there. Was I about to say Damian Sandow? What the hell was wrong with me? Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes, rather. So we have this matchup. Not freaking Damian Sandow's somehow lurking over my shadow, looking over my shoulder, apparently, guys. I don't know where the hell that came from. But anywho's, we have these two going at it, with my prediction being none other than Dominic to win this match due to outside influences in terms of either Ripley or Lesnar to get back onto the feud of him and Rhodes heading to their third match at SummerSlam. But could still see Rhodes get the win here and still have Lesnar come out post-match as well, obviously enough, as I did not mention that in my review after actually giving it much more thought, after the fact of actually getting done my review, and never review, my predictions, and posting my predictions. Obviously, I had that thought come to mind after the fact to do my predictions. I'm just like, well, I'll put it down and actually notate it in my predictions or my review stuff. So blah. So there's that. But obviously enough, my prediction was incorrect, as Cody Rhodes did in fact pull out the win in this match, as this makes prediction score a 3-1 score after this match. And my thoughts in this match was, well, that sure was a match, hunk folks. Not sure why this had to happen, it had to be on the show, as it could have been easily done on a Raw episode or even as a kickoff match of sorts, but on the actual show, though, yeah, not very pleasing, guys. Not to mention how Lesnar didn't show face here as well. Oh well, guess he didn't want the vacay time anyhow in good old London anyway. More or less, we will see them eventually, pick up on their feud in no time at all, heading into SummerSlam between both Lesnar and Rhodes, obviously enough, and just have to see what happens within their story from there once it happens. Cause it sure as hell didn't happen here when we all thought it could and possibly should have been done, seeing what we got out of this moment, to say the least, to move on to something even better moving on from this match. Obviously enough, which was up next, we had the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which my predictions were for Io Sky, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. My prediction for this match was obviously for those three, and my predictions came true, as Io Sky did in fact win this match. So this match prediction score a 4-1, and my thoughts in this match was, while not living up to the men's match, this match was still in fact a decent and fun match to watch. Would have liked it not putting so much focus on the whole Lynch and versus Trish and freaking Stark feud currently going on, but it's kind of expected for the card we were being dealt here with having all these women in the same match, obviously enough. But we did in fact possibly start to see some cracks in Damage Control rear its head, though, with how Bayley nearly screwed Io out of winning the match, only for Sky to get the last laugh in the end to tank Lynch and Bayley together and to be held as she claimed her win once and for all to end this match off with a bang. Again, though, not the best women's ladders match that's probably out there for sure compared to some of the former ones we've seen in the past, but at least a decent and entertaining one for sure, to say the least. So, moving on from this, we had Finn Balor taking on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. My prediction for this match was for Rollins to win, and he in fact did so. So this is my prediction score, a 5-1, after Rollins did in fact retain his championship. And my thoughts of this match was, match gave us just about everything we expect out of this feud, as both men had each other on the ropes a few times back and forth, while Seth being at a slight disadvantage with the rough up ribs heading into the match from the various attacks from Balor. We of course had to have tease of Priest to, cash in off of fresh off winning it earlier in the night, obviously enough, only for that to end up messing with Finn's chances of getting the win here in the end, to moreover lead to the eventual split of Priest no longer being a part of Judgment Day's antics, even though he more or less was targeting Rollins in doing so, obviously enough. Overall, though, another decent match here as we head to our main event, which is none other than the Bloodline Civil War Tag Team match, which was obviously Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa taking on the Usos. My prediction for this match was for the Usos to win this match, but very well could see the Bloodline pull out the win here as well in a match result that's truly up in the air to us as viewers and for creative until this moment of the show to end things off for the night. Because obviously enough, that was another thing I did not bring up in my predictions, was how prediction and kind of creative was kind of being closed-lipped and closed to the chest in regards of potentially there was potentially two ways this match could have gone. At the end of the day, creatively being told on screen, obviously behind the scenes. Obviously enough, apparently there was apparently the two storylines and the two results that would have happened were both were actually put on practice, behind the scenes with Usos and Solo and Roman, behind the scenes and behind closed doors. So we apparently probably got the one we actually saw versus the one that could have happened, but then we got the one that actually did happen. So this is what we have had. So what we had here, well enough, Usos were once again my predictions, and that became true as Usos did in fact win this match. So that was my score of 6-1, and my thoughts heading out of this match was, what more can honestly be said that pretty much everyone was thinking and feeling during this match? Obviously, guys, this was nothing but a roller coaster of emotions and finishes that truly could have gone in either way, in anyone's favor. Obviously, now it could have gone in anyone's way, in everyone's favor. Well enough, guys. Just as I thought, the stack 'em up pin was made, and when we all could have thought that was it, the true ones kept coming back for more and to truly end things their way, and in doing so in unbelievable fashion, as Roman Reigns has finally been pinned after almost 3.5 years since December 2019 against Baron flipping Corbin. Believe it or not, guys. Truly a work of wrestling art and something that only this wonder of a storyline can bring us with, and continue to see what's next for it, heading out of it towards the future to come. But if that one moment of Roman and Solo together performing a certain move on both Usos were to speak volumes, things in the future are gonna be rather electrifying. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, overall, guys, my total score once again on the show was 6 wins and 1 lose. So, with that being said, my overall thoughts on the show were this. This show to me was one that took my expectations and truly ran away with them. Much of it was all the love and support the London faithful gave towards it all, as they were alive and well all throughout the show with no sign of slowing down, even when I thought they would. But that's only the tip of the iceberg of what some of these matches did in fact deliver to us, as we opened with a showcase of a ladder match with the men's, rode the bit of waves the rest of the show in between gave us, while giving us all an entertaining and decent time in doing so, for us to end off the night in glorious fashion, watching the Bloodline storyline continue to line up our screens with such brilliant and exciting storytelling that it just can't make myself more in glee every time something of importance occurs within it. Truly an event to be remembered and recognized as one of the best this year, despite some of the recent rocky weeks of TV creatively, with Vince more and more getting himself back into the scene of things, despite that fact being universally despised by many, of course, and that I'm sure it's definitely in some stiff competition with some of the earlier shows we've gotten this year within Papa H's fully lead team. Needless to say, though, a truly hot way of us getting into the SummerSlam season coming up, and definitely something to leave us in anticipation of seeing what's to come next along the way of us getting there. Obviously, enough. So, with that being well said and done, ladies and gentlemen, this has concluded my Money to Bank 2023 review. I hope you guys enjoyed it for what it was worth after all the kind of slippery and kind of sloppery, kind of ways of my words. Obviously, kind of, going on myself, trying to catch my words over the actual, anticipated kind of hype I actually got out of the show. Obviously enough, actually, delivering my hype I actually got from my notes to bring it to you guys vocally onto my review. Obviously enough. And I shall obviously hope to see you guys next time for my SummerSlam 2023 coverage for my predictions and review coming up next to the channel. Obviously enough. So with this said and done, ladies and gentlemen, and before I actually go, I would like to actually say this right here, right now. I would like to actually thank each and every one of you guys who actually watched my prediction video for this very pay-per-view event, because oh my gosh, I don't know why it blew up as of late, but it has. But I want to say thank you guys very much for actually giving me guys your full-on support and watching that video and actually supporting it for what it is. And well enough fact, guys, I'm kind of looking back at some of my other reviews too, or my other videos and predictions and what have you recently within the past couple of weeks and the past couple of months within these last few shows. They as well have been kind of getting well enough good support. So I want to say to you guys, I thank y'all in general for watching my videos as of late, and thank y'all for supporting me along the way. And as we are going to be coming up next to none other than SummerSlam 2023 as a whole. Because, well enough, guys, if you did remember my recent channel update video I did several months ago before I actually went dark of being actually off camera, off of, doing out, from outside forces out of my control, obviously enough, you would know that SummerSlam was going to be the big pinpoint of the potential change of future for this channel to come. Well enough, guys, and I am not going to say which way that kind of the way the lever is kind of siding with which way or not, as I will specify that more likely than less on my review of SummerSlam 2023. But I am definitely saying this right now. I am personally, with me not saying it, me not specifying which way the lever is leaning on which side of the fence I'm on during that kind of differentiation time on my channel, I am definitely I'm definitely leaning in one way versus the other. But yet again, I'm not going to specify which direction that is, but I will address that and officially direct that, obviously enough, on my SummerSlam 2023 review, if that does not change, of course. Well enough the fact, guys. So, with this obviously enough in general, actually addressing both that and obviously addressing you guys as the fans of actually enjoying my content, actually give you guys my full support and actually enjoy some of my content as of late. I shall see you guys next time for my SummerSlam 2023 predictions to come up next to the channel, well enough within these next couple of weeks to come. So, it's said, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all once again watching this video, and I shall see you guys next time for the biggest party event this summer coming up next here on the channel. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sonic 318, and I am signing out. Peace, guys!